Okay, I want to make a quick video about the coin shortage. I'm traveling. I'm in Raleigh, North Carolina right now. I'm actually by one of my favorite places, the old Milburn Dam. And I wasn't going to make a video at all, but this coin shortage has gotten on my nerves enough to where I don't care. I'm going to just use my point and shoot camera and make a quick video. And what I'm going to show you is that the media is lying. The Federal Reserve is lying about the coin shortage. The culprit behind the coin shortage is the Federal Reserve. Then what I'm going to show you in this video is that the Federal Reserve hates coins even more than it hates cash. Hard as that might be to believe, I'm going to show you that in this video, on top of the fact that it's the Federal Reserve itself that's restricting the coins right now. I'm going to prove that to you. So with no further ado, let the lying begin.
George. Hey, Shari, this really giving new meaning to that saying, the cash is king argument. Now, the Fed has attributed this shortage to the pandemic. There is less circulation and less production at the U.S. Mint.
Okay, there you see it on local ABC News in Philadelphia. They're generically blaming circulation, which really isn't helpful, doesn't advance the analysis, merely restates the problem. And they're blaming the U.S. Mint. You know, it's too bad they have a mint there right in Philadelphia. The news could have asked the mint there in Philadelphia whether the mint was in fact the problem and found out that the mint isn't the problem, as we know from this video released by the U.S. Mint 1 week ago.
Hi, I'm Dave Ryder, Director of the United States Mint. I have the distinct privilege of leading the employees who are manufacturing our nation's coins. I want to assure you that the men and women of the Mint workforce are working as hard as they possibly can to get newly produced coins into the economy. In fact, we are on track to mint more coins this year than we have produced in almost 20 years.
Okay, as you just saw, the Mint is on track to produce the most coins it's produced in the last 20 years. The Mint is not the problem. ABC is the problem. It simply lies. Now, ABC is not the only one to blame circulation. The Federal Reserve Chairman himself, Powell, also blames circulation, although to his credit, he is a bit more specific. But to the extent he is a bit more specific, he is also utterly ridiculous. Let's watch this clip.
What's happened is that with the partial closure of the economy, the flow of coins through the economy has gotten it's kind of stopped. The places where you go to give your coins and get credit at the store, get cash, get folding money, those have not been working. Stores have been closed. So the whole system of flow had come to a stop. We're well aware of this.
Okay, there you have it. The chairman of the Federal Reserve is telling us that not only is it the problem that the stores are closed, which is totally absurd, wouldn't be a coin problem at all if the stores are just closed. The whole problem is the stores are open and they don't have coins. So that's ridiculous. And the other excuse he blames is the coin kiosk machine. You know those places you go, you dump buckets of your coins in the grocery store to get store credit and, did I get that right, foul folding money? That's what you call cash? What is that slang from like 1927? Anyway, those are Powell's fall guys. That's who's causing the coin problem, is the coin kiosks. So let's now go to one of the CEOs of the largest coin kiosk in the US and see whether Powell's story adds up.
And now let's bring in Jim Gaharity. He is the CEO of Coinstar. Mr. Gaharity, it's great to have you here. And man, what a story. So basically what's happened? No one's coming to your kiosks?
Well, that's not it at all.
Well, thank God those coin kiosks are still working, and that it was simply the Fed chairman lying under oath in sworn congressional testimony. For a minute, I thought we had a real problem there. But if the coin kiosks are working, that begs the question of what is giving rise to the coin problem. And for that, let's go back to the CEO of Coinstar and let him finish his explanation.
The issue really is with the pandemic, people have stayed in their homes more frequently. And grocery trips are down. At the height of the pandemic, it was about 50% less trips to grocery. And as a result, there's just been less time for folks to go in and do the coin transactions.
Okay, I cut my grocery trips in half, and that reduces my time to go to the coin kiosks and change out my coins. Yeah, whatever. Okay, you get it. There's lies flying all around. If you want a source from somebody who actually is in or has access to the distribution chain for coins and who can get to the bottom of what's going on with this coin shortage, here you go.
I received a call from a bank here in Tennessee's 6th Congressional District yesterday, alerting me to the fact that they have been notified at the beginning of this week by the Fed that they would only be receiving a small portion of their weekly order of coinage. According to this banker, his institution will likely run out of coins by Friday of this week or this weekend. And after some preliminary research, I found that many other banks across my district are having the same operational challenge.
So there you have it. It is not the mint. It is not the retailers. It is not the banks. It is not the general public having less time in the day to go to the coin kiosk. The problem with the coin shortage is stemming from the Federal Reserve itself. The Federal Reserve is deliberately causing the coin shortage. Now the only question is why the Fed would want to cause a coin shortage. And for that, as always, we will look at the Federal Reserve balance sheet and see what the Fed's motivation might be for cutting off the supply of coins in the US. If you scroll down to section 5, or maybe it's table 5, you can see assets and liabilities broken out, starting with assets. One of the first assets you see there is coin, sitting at $1.5 billion. You'll notice that cash, in other words, Federal Reserve notes, cash isn't on the list of assets. That's because cash is a liability, not an asset, which you can see from the next page, Federal Reserve notes. That's cash at $1.96 trillion. So big fundamental difference between cash, which is a Federal Reserve liability, and coins, which is a Federal Reserve asset. Okay, cash and coin are obviously both money. So why is it that one is a liability and the other is an asset on the Fed's balance sheet? The answer is that cash is a liability because it is an IOU issued by the Federal Reserve. That is why it says Federal Reserve note on top. The issuer of the coin is not the Federal Reserve. The Treasury is the issuer of coins. The Federal Reserve issues its IOUs, be they Federal Reserve notes or reserves, in order to acquire assets, assets that are produced by another party. That's what the Federal Reserve does. It issues currency, and it issues Federal Reserve notes, it issues reserve to acquire assets. The Fed prefers assets that bear interest. Coins do not bear interest. That is one reason the Federal Reserve does not like coins. But the real reason that the Fed does not like coins is that it's money issued by someone else. It is issued by the Treasury. Money issuance is a sovereign prerogative. There are two sovereigns in the US. One is the Federal Reserve. It is a dominant sovereign, and it is in the process of killing off the weaker sovereign, which is us, the US government, the Treasury, what have you. And that is what the fundamental tension is between cash and coins. The Treasury is the issuer of coins. The Fed is very jealous of that. Incidentally, when the Fed issues dollar bills, $100 bills, $1 bills, it pays 6 to 15 cents per bill. The difference between the face value and the production costs of any money is called seigniorage. Seigniorage accrues to a sovereign power. And now when we look at coins, you see coins are basically cost less than a penny to produce, and all the money, the difference of face value, it accrues to the Treasury, which is a different sovereign. It is a sovereign counterparty to the Fed. The people telling you that the Federal Reserve is simply an agent of the Treasury do not know what they are talking about and are probably lying to you on purpose. They are different. And when the Fed buys coins, it pays face value for those coins. You want a quarter of Federal Reserve? That'll be 25 cents. And that is the fundamental difference between coins and currency, or between coins and Federal Reserve notes, excuse me. Anyway, there's a lot more to this. I could talk for hours on this. I'm just touching the surface, but I wanted to get to the bottom of this. The Federal Reserve is causing the shortage in coins, and it damn well has a motive to do so. It doesn't like the US government as Treasury. It does not like the US government as a sovereign. It does not like we, the people, as a sovereign. And it is in the process of killing us off and becoming the dominant and the sole sovereign power, and that's really what's going on. In any case, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.